around San Francisco a series of billboards that depicted issues of concern to San Franciscans. And unfortunately, it hit a nerve with the political establishment and the machine in San Francisco, who immediately complained, demanded that the people of San Francisco not be able to see the message that was being presented by Ellen Zhou's campaign for mayor of San Francisco. Clear Channel, along with Outfront, immediately, upon the orders of the machine, destroyed the billboards that they had approved and placed around San Francisco. This is a clear case of suppression of political speech, and it's a clear violation of Ellen Zhou and the Asian American Freedom Political Action Committee's civil rights. And we intend to take this forward, suing the political establishment in San Francisco, getting to the bottom of this, and recovering not only money but damages on behalf of these individuals who have been severely injured by the political machine in San Francisco. It's my pleasure to represent Ms. Zhou and the Asian American Freedom Political Action Committee in this action. It's in the process of being filed as we speak, and we will proceed. There are 4 causes of action alleged. One is a violation of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, suppression of speech. There's also a allegation that there's a violation of civil rights under 42 U.S.C. 1983, tortious interference with the contract on the behalf of the mayor and her machine partners, and finally a breach of contract specifically alleged against Clear Channel Media and Outfront Media. With that, thank you, Paul, for allowing me to speak today. We will proceed, file this, and then proceed with the lawsuit as expeditiously as we can.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that. And we pray that this suit does go through according to God's will for his people. So what started all this was a tweet that I saw on Twitter that Senator Scott Wiener of California calling Ellen Zhou a racist. And I can assure you, my traveling around with her and knowing her for the last 2 years, I have not seen one indication of any kind of racial, any attitude at all. Not a slur, not an emotion, anything. She is the purest heart. Her heart is for the people of San Francisco. It's about you people in San Francisco that she stands up for. So I have a few people here who would like to stand up. One of them is Rochelle Connor, who is she's the president of the Frederick Douglass Foundation here in California, and she would like to tell you her impression about this billboard. This is, folks, the actual billboard that was taken down that I rescued at their Outfront Media's baling machine, where they're going to bale it up and send it up to be recycled, and we actually grabbed it out of the machine before it got baled up, thank the Lord. And we have it here as evidence and proof, and we've got more information about it. You will be interested in to know all about this, and you will hear that momentarily. But right now I'd like to invite Rochelle Connor to come up and speak. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming. As Paul mentioned, I'm here to denounce the tomfoolery that somehow this billboard is racist. There is nothing about this billboard that is racist. Instead of dealing with the real issues that this billboard depicts, including the homeless being used and exploited as a cash cow, the modern day slavery that happens through the trafficking. Instead of dealing with those issues, they come out and they attack a woman, a minority, an immigrant. As a woman of color, I stand with Ellen Zhou. She is a woman of integrity.
Amen.
I stand against the bullying tactics used by rounding up the usual suspects who come to distract the citizens of San Francisco from the real issues. That, with these shenanigans that they use of moral fake outrage. The truth stands. This billboard depicts it, and it stands on its own merit. They have exploited my people, black people, who lay on the streets, whom they walk over, whom they count as dollars. They are a power-mongering mobocracy, and the truth will set them free. Playing the race card will not make these problems go away. Playing the race card will not end homelessness. Playing the race card will not stop the drugs trafficking on the street. The race card will not clean up the needles. The race card will not clean up the feces. Playing the race card will not make any of San Francisco's problems go away. San Franciscans, if you want to see your city safe and clean again, you need to cast your vote on November 5th for Ellen Zhou. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Rochelle. That's she's part of our team, and we've spoken extensively about this because we were shocked when the race card was used. But you notice, folks, it's the same narrative across the country. They don't have anything original to say, so they keep pounding the same dialogue, trying to brainwash us, but it won't work. So I have a pleasure also to bring in another man, a friend of mine named Marco Gutierrez. And when Marco Gutierrez came here, he represents the Latinos for Trump, and he's going to give the aspect of impression of the racism card being used from the Hispanic, the Latina position. Thank you, Marco.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Marco. I am a grateful citizen of the United States of America, and Donald Trump is my president. By the grace of God, the generosity of this country, and the rule of law, I raised my right hand in 2003, and I became a U.S. citizen.
Hallelujah.
Now, when I started my political activism, I knew somebody had stolen my American dream. I just didn't know who. And I started, he was Obama, really. And that's when I became interested in politics. Now, if you Google me, Marco Gutierrez, you're gonna see a phrase that I said on MSNBC, which was taco trucks on every corner during the campaign. And I'm here to tell Ellen, do not give up, because that's what they do. They invested so much money to make me look as a racist. I created something that's called taco politics, because I really want to bring the subject that they did so much. They wanted to destroy me so that other Hispanics will not come out and help establish the correct identity of the Hispanic community, which is conservative. So all of you guys that are supporting Ellen, do not let her down. Keep going. This is physical evidence that she has hit an air, like they were saying. And you know, I was born and raised in Mexico. This is something you see in third world countries. This attacks to people that are trying to be of service to their communities, because they want to keep our communities ignorant of their rights. And our communities have so much power in their hands. My message is to the head of household that has that millennial kid that's going to be able to cast their vote this 2020. And I want to go to that household and give permission to that millennial for him to feel American. Because a lot of naturalized citizens, a lot of kids of these immigrants, they do not feel permission to feel American. And I don't know if you guys understand what I'm talking about here, you guys being immigrants too. We need to activate these kids and help them understand the power that they have on their hands. They have the power to change. They have the power to really drain the swamp. And I'm here because anybody that's fighting these swamp creatures, I'm there, and I'm here to support Ellen, and please vote for her this November 5th. Thank you, guys. Good morning.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you very much
Thank you.
for that.
Thanks, Joe.
And then next, I would like to bring on one of our team, a good close friend of mine, an American national hero, a retired U.S. Army counterintelligence officer who has been in the fight for years for your freedom, traveling around the world, uncovering evidence about the Clinton Foundation, about Benghazi, about many other things that is yet to come out. He's the writer of several books. One main book is called The Shell Game. You can buy it at the Amazon. You can buy it many places, but you should get it because it is the exact copy of the dossier that he put together that names out everybody. So as you listen to the news and you hear all the names of Comey and all those others, Lonnie Brewer and all of them, he has already identified them in this book. So I'd like to have Scott get up and talk about the two billboards that we have today. The one behind me, the one that was taken down and I found in the baling machine. And then the next billboard that we were going to do that they would not print and put up for us because, again, they were not working for their client, Ellen Zhou and the Asian American Freedom PAC. That's their clients. So, Scott Bennett, would you join us and talk to us about those, please?
It's an honor to be here. I was an Army officer. I worked in psychological warfare, information operations. I had a top secret SCI clearance, and I did write a report about the Clinton Foundation, working with Eric Holder and Laney Brewer in the Department of Justice, and Barack Obama and a law firm called Covington and Burling, doing terrorist financing, smuggling terrorist financing throughout operations in Libya and Syria. And you can see it at shellgamewhistleblower.com. So I've had my experience in exposing corruption and terrorism, and this is a flavor of that. And when I returned to California after experiencing some of this corruption, I met some wonderful people, and one of the best was Paul Taylor. And also I had the blessing of meeting Ellen Zhou. And I saw in Ellen a champion, a hero, a dynamic personality, a leader and a fighter. And I had been fighting in the military. I'd worked at the State Department. I worked in the White House under the Bush administration, Booz Allen Hamilton with Edward Snowden. I had worked with all of the people that had been fighting the corruption and exposing things. And Ellen Zhou was cut from that cloth. And she was a Chinese-American woman who had come over from communist China, pursuing the American dream, pursuing family values, and seeking to restore California and San Francisco. And I instantly saw in her the leadership direction that California needed to go. And I lived all my life in California, and I've slowly seen the degradation of California. And some of the few communities that maintain their culture and their personality and their strength and their traditional family values are the Asian communities. You believe in marriage between a man and a woman. You believe in taking care of your elders and believe in taking care of your children and school for reading, writing, and arithmetic, not social engineering or social experimentation. That's the Chinese, the Asians, the Vietnamese, the Hindus, all of those traditional communities which have been abused and prostituted by the Democrat Party. Ellen Zhou is the opposite of that. She is the awakening. She is the symbol of Renaissance. She is the light in the darkness. And that's why I came to join my light to hers. And I worked in information operations. I worked in advertising and psyops. And the strongest thing about waging psychological operations is truth. Truth is the strongest psychological operation you can do. Because lies can't stand against it.
That's right.
Liars can't stand against it. And these posters that we design are about truth. And I'm going to say just a couple quick words about it. This poster right here is the Pandora's box that has opened this up. And we're going to continue to develop more and more posters, more and more stories, more and more comic strips, more and more characters that are going to expose corruption. This is just the beginning. Ellen wins, this continues. If she doesn't win, this continues. We are continuing this for the people of San Francisco and California. Amen. We are not going away. No. And this is going to the White House, This is going to the Office of Professional Responsibility. This is going to the Congressional Intelligence Committees. This is going to the Attorney General William Barr. We will demand legal action. We will demand political investigations, because one of the things that I'm very concerned about, being a former military officer, is the Chinese Communist Party infiltrating and meddling with our elections. I want the communists to be looking at why are they influencing people like Senator Dianne Feinstein, Barbara Boxer, although she's passed, Nancy Pelosi. I want to see all of the machine establishment Democrats and see where it leads with regards to why they're all attacking Ellen Zhou. Because what they're doing to President Trump, they're trying to do to her, but we're reversing it on her. But this poster right here shows a very accurate depiction of London Breed, who gets paid $30,000 a month to sit on her haunches and count her money and give that money to her friends in the 501c3s, which I know because I did this for a living under the Bush administration. I worked in health and human services. I worked in economic development. I worked for low-income families. I know this. That's why Ellen Zhou is the only hope for solving this, because these corrupt politicians like London Breed sits back, counts money, and redistributes it so that she can get that in her future election campaigns. So this is an accurate depiction. It's got nothing to do with racism. Anybody with half a brain understands little Chinese woman calling her racist is about as stupid as you can get. Stupid because you also call every Chinese person racist. You really want to pick that fight? Well, they did. We know who'll win. So this is London Breed smoking her, I think it's a joint that, of course, San Francisco has legalized, and counting her money and dangling her shoe on the tip of her toe, just, thinking about all the homeless people with buddy tags around their neck, that they're going to get money for beds and their money for organizations and counseling and things that never come to pass. They never get it. These people are left to die. And of course, the human sex trafficking. Great friend of mine has just revealed to me again, you have in Antioch human sex trafficking houses where the construction workers pay $40 and give a password called perfume to engage in sex trafficking with poor underage girls who have been sex trafficked and are locked away as prisoners in homes. And these cartels run this operation. This is happening. This is not racist. These are our children who are being locked away and smuggled in sex trafficking, and Ellen Zhou is the only one brave enough to talk about it. London Breed, it feeds off it like a parasite. Because if you're not stopping something, what are you doing? You're enabling it. You're aiding it. You're abetting it. You're supporting it. So London Breed and Gavin Newsom, this is Gavin Newsom. This is Gavin Newsom. You understand, Mr. Newsom? I'm talking to you. This is you. A little bit better looking than you on this poster because you've still got a few hairs wild, but this is Gavin Newsom facilitating child sex trafficking. He should be arrested. He should be investigated. All of these criminals need to be investigated, and they will. But he's hauling away the little girls. And that's what Ellen Zhou is standing up to stop. She is going into San Francisco as mayor. She's going to unite all the communities. She's going to put special task force in place. She's going to put special teams, special projects. And guess what? All of these problems are going to disappear with the fortitude and the personality of Ellen Zhou, because she doesn't take prisoners. That's why I like her. She's like Maximus in the gladiatorial arena. She's the last battle warrior standing. Everybody else is running. That's why the media is running from this. They didn't send anybody. And I called and talked to people at KRON. Sorry, we have people at the fires. We can't send anybody. KPIX, KTVU. All the media blackout is because they're cowards and they can't face the truth. But God is in charge of all of this, and I hope and pray that He puts Ellen Zhou as the San Francisco mayor, because she will owe nothing to anybody except all of you who are standing with her and helping her. So this is Gavin Newsom, sex trafficking, little girl, homeless people, and London Breed parasitically existing off the blood. And the billboard that you see back there is, of course, the beating up and the harassing, the bullying of the candidates, and Ellen Zhou is being beaten up by people trying to silence the debate, stop the conversation. London Breed has never had a debate because she's running away from it, because she doesn't want to talk about the truth. She can't talk in any regard, but she doesn't want to face these issues. And the mayor debate that has not happened, Ellen Zhou raising her arms as Mayor Zhou, is surrounded by a bunch of Democrats and independent, but the mayor is missing from that podium. because they don't want to debate what they're doing to the guy in the middle. And I want you to pay attention to that guy in the middle there, wrapped up in a blanket. That is not a stock picture. That is a photograph that was taken by Paul Taylor in San Francisco. That is a real man. We don't know if he's dead. We don't know if he was alive. But he was a real man who had a mother and a father and a family at some point. And God knows what happened to him, but he went down, he fell. And Paul Taylor took that photograph. And we put a bed of needles underneath him to show this is what San Francisco and London Breed are doing, giving these free needles out to these poor souls that are out of their minds, that have no sense of human connection anymore. And Ellen Zhou is the best candidate for mayor because she's a social worker. I did this when I was in Washington. She knows how to heal people of these vices. She knows how to bring them back in their right mind. She knows how to surround them with love and community and personality, not a bureaucrat behind a glass window that hands out a paper ticket and says, see you next week. She's not a politician. She's not a Republican or a Democrat. She is a warrior. She is a woman. She is a battle-hardened person that wants to go in and fix a problem. As a social worker, she wants to apply her skill in her trade in the office of mayor, where she's in charge of all of these operations. And she will make a difference like nobody in the history of the Republican Party or the Democrat Party has ever done. That's why California is leaning more and more independent, because we're sick and tired of the ineffectiveness of the parties. Ellen Zhou is the opposite of all of that. And I hope Donald Trump is listening, because she is the best person that he has to point to and say, this is the future of California. That's right.
Yes.
And with that, I will hand it to the future of California, Ms. Ellen Zhou.
Actually, before Ellen gets up, I just want to say a couple things. I appreciate that, Scott, because that is totally accurate. And I did take that photograph. And that's just one man out of 21,000 in San Francisco. They're not getting any kind of aid. And that man brings in probably $17,000 a month to the city. How can he use that money when he's knocked out cold? I didn't know when I saw that man if he was dead or not. But the fact is, they are dying. They're dying every day. And when they die, they don't go back to the government and say, this gentleman died and stop sending his checks. No, that money keeps rolling in, unearned income. It's the new cottage industry in San Francisco. Ellen is in and has been in that area. She has all the knowledge and experience of that. And the sad part too is that, and for the blacks, because of the racial issue of this, the homelessness of this, it's an attack on you, and you don't see it. Also, I was privileged to be with Ellen and Scott at the Central Committee meeting of the San Francisco GOP, that she got up and told them about these things, saying that there hasn't been a Republican mayor in San Francisco for 55 years, and nobody has won a seat in 45 years as conservative, yet the San Francisco GOP acts like they've been kicking butt and taking names, but they haven't. And I was glad to hear Ellen Zhou get up and state these facts to them, and even to the point of calling them losers, because they have been losing. It's tough when the truth hits you in the face, isn't it?
Hallelujah.
That's what we're here about. It's about the truth. And you know what? Myself as a candidate, and I know as Steve is a candidate moving forward, and as Ellen Zhou, that the only way we're going to gain your respect is if you know that we are going to stand up for the truth, that we're not going to be bought, we're not going to be coerced, we're not going to be railroaded into something other than what is exactly the truth, because you will admire us, and the people who tell the lies, the people who have done this, understand, and they look at us in fear, because we do bring the truth to them. And the truth, according to the Bible, says it will set you free, and you will be free indeed. We are here to free America. We are here to have free elections. So, Ellen, would you like to come up and say your story? Tell everybody what happened to you. Thank you so much. My hero, David, against Goliath in 2019, Ellen Lee Zhou.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I'm gonna put this in here since I'm speak. Good morning. I'm a kind of loud person. by nature. I want to show this picture for the purpose of public record. The people in here, public officials from San Francisco City Hall. As you see Carmen Chiu, David Chiu, Sandra Fuller, and many other Chinese leaders. You also see Erin Paskin, Willie Brown, Matt Haney, Norman Yee, and the legislative aide, Natalie G, who is my neighbors that I watched her grow up. And many other of the people like Sherman Welton. And of course, many of the people say they are leaders from the Chinese community. I want to thank them for condemning me in front of this billboard. In San Francisco, a lot of people do not know that we have an election until they went to my billboard and condemned me for more than an hour and calling me racist. Now, if you look at my face, I am a mom with 2 college children. I am an immigrant from China, and I am a resident from San Francisco for the last 33 years. For people who do not solve the problem that I put it here, that Scott explained it to you earlier, but to condemn me as a candidate, San Franciscans, Bay Area, and people in America, think about what we face in San Francisco. I also want to thank the people here today in this room for supporting the changes that we are about to go to see in San Francisco. I also want to thank my campaigning volunteers. You all know I am 100% supported by volunteers. I don't have a campaign manager. I don't have a campaign advisor. I have people who came and supported me because we believe in quality of life. We believe in American dream. We believe in America democracy. Thank you. My name is Ellen Lee Zhou. I am one of the 6 candidates running for San Francisco mayor for the November 2019 election. It's only 4 days away. So for people who are watching in here live or recorded, please reach out to all people in San Francisco. Ask them come out to vote. 2019 is the only election that we in 55 years have a conservative voice who believe in America, who believe in American dreams. That is me, Ellen Lee Zhou. I am not going to back down, and I'm not going to quit. Regardless, I win, I lose. I will continue to stand up for all San Francisco people who want a quality life and who wanted to protect our children and our generations to come. As you can see from the news, San Francisco, we have a $12.3 billion budget with almost 32,000 public employees. I am one of the 32,000 government employees. With 21,000 homeless people who are suffering, dying, and many of them picking up garbage to eat, to survive. America. This is not America in San Francisco. We have 25,000 drug abusers and dealers that has dominated our street every day, and you see it from the paper. We have more drug dealers than we have in high school students. And San Franciscans and people in America. We also have more than 50,000 empty apartments that is available to people today or tomorrow. When we do not have fair housing policy, people will continue to live a life with fear and feeling unjustified. So for people in San Francisco, if you do not want to see the 21,000 homeless people are suffering and dying, if you do not want to see the empty apartments that is available for teachers and workers and families, especially families with children, I am that voice. It's going to free up these empty apartments. And if you do not want to see our local Americans suffer because our public resource was never meant to use to help the local San Franciscans. You see it from the news. San Francisco is ranked #1 in property crimes. And we are the only city in the nation that we have poop patrol. We invented a position that nobody has in the entire world but San Francisco. I personally been through many of the harassment, retaliation within the city hall. September 9th, I have a young guy, African American guy, came to my house in front of my window, bang on it, harass me. I have to call 911. I'm telling you, whoever you are, I will not back down. Whoever sent you to harass me at my house, I will not give up San Francisco. I will not quit. October 21st, after many of the harassment that I received, because the public officials publicly condemned me in front of my billboard. October 21st, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the morning. I have a car purposely run into my garage and collided with another car heads on and crashed. The police was notified at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's public record. 3 weeks ago, I don't know who, I don't know how. People send people to do a lot of illegal posters framing me, and I was harassed and threatened to be sued. But those posters will not belong to our team. I believe that America democracy has been violated. You understand? It's not about Ellen Lee Zhou. Look at me, I'm only one person. It's about San Francisco. San Francisco has been running by a machine, the few elites and the 4 families controlling our lives for 45 years. Many of the electoral offices were prearranged, paid and bought by committees, by super PAC, and by matching fund that cheating the public dollars. 2018, the public paid 4.16 million matching fund for the same party that has been running City Hall. San Francisco has faced a tyranny government for more than 10 years. If you do not like what you see in San Francisco, check me out, please. EllenForMayor2019.com. You will see I publicly acknowledge when I become a mayor in 4 more days, I will cut my salary in half and use my 50% of my salary divided into 11 districts. We have 11 districts in San Francisco. The machine will not stop retaliating me. For me to develop a mayor's outreach program, I will be empower all San Franciscans to get up and take back San Francisco and build it like we're supposed to be. Amen. Created by the people, run by the people, and operate by the people, because we, the people, will not back down from the corrupted government that we have been facing. April 2017 to July 2017, I brought 5 government employees to ethics commissions because they reported bribery and extortion about management people selling jobs and make millions, and they have been harassed because they report. I am a government representative for government employees. Few months later, we were told our public record, our voice recording, and whoever, whatever, took the initiative told us our record was never found. No record. It tells me that the San Francisco government has been operated by a mob. I call them mafia. San Francisco has been controlled by the same few elites who pay a part and the same few families that has been manipulate the San Francisco government. I know portion of it, but I don't know all of it until I'm running for mayor, 2019, a temporary mayorship. I was never allowed to more than 20 public forums and public debates. I was told that I am not a Democrat. Therefore, I was not allowed. I have to call the police at one time because I was asked and harassed by a Democrat from City Hall and asked me that I was not allowed. As many of the nonprofit organizations organize crimes illegally, running many of the programs that is taking advantage by the numbers. San Francisco budget $3,900 per homeless per month if they're healthy. For people with disability, like that guy in there, $17,000 per month per homeless. If you calculate the total budget and divide by the number of homeless, an average, $6,000 a homeless a month. Where is the money? When I become a mayor, I will support law enforcement to arrest drug dealers and criminals that has been dominating our public streets. I will save the people from human trafficking. I will heal the homeless people that are dying from the street. I will stop the drug dealers that has been colluded with public officials for many years by using the public resources to support illegal activities. How do I know? I am a government employee with love, with dignity, and with law and order. I am trained by the government to report illegal activities. I have been reporting illegal activities. Unfortunately, California is a deep state. San Francisco is a deep state running by mob, the same families, the same few elites. When I become a mayor, I will create 2 programs for the empty apartments to be released to help the people who need housing. One program is to do assessment and plan of care to know who are the San Franciscans, who needs housing, and how much they can afford, and we will go from there. San Franciscan first. The other program, I will be working with property owners to ask them to help us. Please, save San Francisco, save the homeless, save the teachers, save the workers. The empty apartments, it's a waste of resources. Many of the people still paying the loan for the banks. I will do that. I will free up the free apartments. Approximately 50,000 to about 70,000 in San Francisco. People who are listening right now, help us. Especially you believe in prayer. Prayer for my safety. Pray for my volunteer team. Pray for the team that we are about to go into City Hall and change San Francisco and make San Francisco safe and clean. Number 3, when I become a mayor, I will be strengthening and support the whistleblower to protect the people who file complaints against government corruption. If you look at my name, Ellen Lee Zhou, and Google search, I was one of the reporters and make the whistleblower to protect government employees back in 2014 and 2015. As a civic grand jury, I was investigating government function, government improvement, and government corruption. Unfortunately, we are running by a mafia government. Many of the electoral officers running City Hall like a game, like a political machine, and like numbers. Our public has been fooled. Please wake up, San Francisco. Now, when I become a mayor, I will be audited from top to bottom about each department in San Francisco. That unit is going to be run by citizens of San Francisco, people who are dedicated for change. It will be a non-paid position to make it avoiding conflict of interest. We will be having a legal team to back this up. We have 60 departments. Many of the departments corrupted the book. How do I know? I am a government employee, and I work with 32,000 government employees. I am an elected government representative from the union. My union has about 16,000 employees. I am not going to back down. Even they threaten my life, even people send people to my house and harass me. People frame me with all the elected officials bullying my billboard and bullying me, condemning me, and call me racist. Ladies and gentlemen, not long ago I was labeled as a terrorist because I am a National Rifle Association member. I went to CD-RON and talked to people. I said, look at me. Why do you call me terrorist? Just because I'm a member. San Franciscans, if you do not like what you see, I am Ellen Lee Zhou, and I am for you, and not only for you. Together we want to rebuild San Francisco and return the power back to San Franciscans. When I become a mayor, I will implement a new rule for all government employees. Government employees, you no longer living in fear about losing your job and retaliation from management staff. When I become a mayor, I will implement a new rule. All government employees will be evaluated by all employees to their supervisors and management staff. Currently, it's only one way. The management staff and the supervisor staff, they are the one colluded with many of the illegal activities. I will be protecting all of the government employees. Please, do yourself a favor. You and I talk about in the union hall how we can create a better policy. This will be the policy that we have been talking. All government will be evaluate all government management staff to prevent government corruption. When I become a mayor, I will be putting a website to prevent government corruption and implement the data and complaints from the public going live. People have the right to file who they complain, how they complain publicly because we are a public government entity. It's protected by our First Amendment and Fourth Amendment. When I become a mayor, I will be protecting the tenants who have been abused by the illegal law firms and colluded with unethical lawyers, manipulate the system, continue to sue property owners and drain the insurance money. And we, the entire San Franciscans, suffer because we have to pay higher insurance due to the illegal activities continue to sue. And the lawsuit money should be stopped to enable all the illegal activities that is targeted tenants, at the same time property owners. We will have a legal team to study the illegal activities that has been running by 4 families and the colluded few electors. The few elites have been controlling San Francisco. When I become a mayor, San Francisco sanctuary policy will not support felons, will not support illegal activities. In 1996, the sanctuary city was about immigrants with children. 2015, 2 liberals, out-of-control liberals, put down to protect all felons and all illegals before our very own people, American people. That is illegal, and this is treasoning to protect illegal from our citizens. And if people who are watching, I want people to know that we are working on issues to protect San Francisco. When I become a mayor, I will be protecting the homeless people from politicians abusing them and their physical and mental well-being. I am a behavioral health clinician, and my job is to heal people, improve people's health, one person at a day, at a time. I will be, when I become a mayor, 3 things the homeless people need: an indoor place to sleep, away from drug dealers, and number 3, they want jobs to go back to the life they were before. Many of the people I encounter, they are very intelligent people. And when I become a mayor, I will be working with the people who are business owners and who are middle class, low class, and poor people. We are going to build a government with hope, faith, and love, and we will be. We build a city with law and order. We, America, should be living an American dream. We do not live a fearful life like we are right now with all these property crimes and out of control property crimes. When I become a mayor, my new administration will be prepared a 12-step programs. We talk about it in September 22nd for more than 2 hours in the public library. If you go to YouTube, type my name, Ellen Lee Zhou, you will see that we have a YouTube channel with 43 videos explain how we can take back our city so we can stop the crimes, enable the law enforcement, and most importantly, when I become a mayor, I will be enforce the United States Constitution to protect all San Franciscans and all Americans before any illegal and felons. And together, we will make San Francisco safe and clean. Thank you.
Thank you. Ellen Lee for mayor.
Go to my website, ellenformayor2019.com. ellenformayor2019.com. And together we will. Just believe in yourself. I am believing in all of you. Make a common sense choice. Vote Ellen for mayor, San Francisco mayor. We will. Thank you.
I think it's patently comical that they would call her a terrorist. But they haven't seen anything because she says she's not going to quit and the terrorism's going to be on them. Now I did look up what the word terrorism organization is. And a terrorist organization is a terrorist organization, a group of people, it could be right in your government, which oftentimes, and it currently is explained by whatever brings fear to a community, disallowing the community to fully and enjoy its freedom of access to the community and its opportunities and its peace. And the people in San Francisco do not want to walk the streets of San Francisco for fear of attack, for fear of they don't want to park their cars because they're going to be broken into. The tourism business has been greatly affected by the 100 cars per day broken into. Ellen has had her car. She hasn't had it. It's happened to her. 2 times her car has been broken into and stolen twice. I doubt you'll find a person who owns a vehicle in San Francisco who hasn't faced that. And how many times, well, most people can't use their insurance because your deductible's $500. So just, Windows $480, right? That's out of your pocket. It happens 3 times a year. I mean, that's a chunk of change for people. So I applaud Ellen. She is the person. She has proven to be herself that person. So to move on forward, what we've decided to do with this historic document behind me, the billboard that started all this, the billboard that's going to expose those they're causing her to lose her constitutional rights to get up and win an office, to stand up for the people of San Francisco, this billboard behind me, that we have decided to have those involved in this, our team, to individually hand sign the front of this. And we are going to donate it to the California Constitutional Right Foundation that Steve Bailey is involved in, Judge Steve Bailey. And you can donate to them. They have an address, it's 932 D Street, Suite 1 in Ramona, California. But you'll be able to find information on that. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this up for auction for donors. And the donors that the donor who actually donates the most amount of money. Now, we haven't finalized the details on how long we're going to let this go for, but obviously, this is not just a citywide thing. This is not Ellen Zhou's thing. This is a national thing. If you want to have something that is the poster child for what Donald Trump's going through, she is it. And that's the poster. And all of you that are listening on social media right now, because we didn't get on the television channels today because they're too scared and they're too much into their fake news, that we actually are blessed that they're not here. But we're dependent on the social media, all of you, to spread this out, to go out there and talk about this. Because this is you. This is your city. It doesn't matter if you're in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, Colorado, Seattle, Washington. All this is happening in your cities. You've got bullies in your cities. They're taking your tax money and putting it in their pockets, and they're bullying the good candidates who want to come out and represent you. So we're going to sign this. It's going to be Ellen Zhou, Steve Bailey, Scott Bennett, myself, Rochelle Connor, and we're going to have Mark Gutierrez from Latinos for Trump sign this and date it, and that will be auctioned off. And we hope that we could bring in $250,000 on this document. Now, I've seen Andrew Warhol's go for $20 million. This art in itself is art. This is a historical document. This, by your votes, by your donations, by your opportunity, through this media, in a humble way, through people that are trying to do something here in America, you can make a difference and make this one of the most valuable pieces of artwork in America, because, you know, it's not just Betsy Ross's flag that's famous, right? It's other things in this century, in this month, this year, coming up on 2020 with the coming of President Trump's re-election, that you could stand with him, because we win, she wins, you win. And something else that we're going to do, I want to bring up right now, is something for all of you that come from countries like Ellen, that come from persecuted lands, might be Vietnam, all of you from Russia, anyone that's come from countries that have been persecution. A new group is being formed. It's called the Melting Pot Patriots. We are after to get you to join in so you can stand up and speak. You get out, you get your citizenship, you vote, you use your right to vote. Where you came from, you didn't have that right, did you? It's an honor. It's the most valuable thing you own. And we are here to protect that vote, and we want you to join with us. We want to show a change in America by the immigrants, because, you know, America was founded on immigrants. I traced my roots to the Vikings, came here in the 10th century. And there's other roots here. Scott is from Scotland. There's people in this room from Scotland. Donald Trump is Scotland and German. Well, the First and Second Amendment came from St. Andrews, brought to us, to our founding fathers by the Scots, who came here and said that you need to protect your personal and civic rights, and you need to protect those rights with the Second Amendment, your ability to own a gun, protect them, because of governments like what we have, what we just had with Barack Obama, and the dangerous things that he's done to turn this wonderful country, this land of the free and home of the brave, into a disgusting cesspool of evil. We're going to fight against that, just like they did in 1776 to gain your freedom in this country. So I would like those people that I just named come up here, and we're going to sign this billboard right now. Ellen, I would like you to sign it first, please.
Yeah, put it right here. Ellen Zhou from there. I'm going to sign my Chinese name. My Chinese name is I love morning. God loves me. That's my Chinese name.
God loves you.
God loves me, yes. Right here.
Go Mayor!
Thank you.
Ellen for the mayor!
Anywhere you want. please. And Ellen, I would like you to write something else on here if you would. Something about your spiritual belief for San Francisco.
In God we trust. We are one nation under God.
That in Chinese there as well.
Amen.
All the same.
God bless America. That's what it is.
You guys think pictures in the middle of this?
Yes.
Yes, we'll take a picture right now. So let's get the team up here, please.